It's been a great honour to be a Labour MP in Wakefield, and I think the biggest achievement is that for me as an MP, for 60 years we've had an old hospital built to take prisoners in the Second World War, decrepit, just so out of date, and now we've got opening, this month, a brand new hospital, the Pinderfields Hospital, built by a Labour government, 21st century healthcare for my constituents, and I was really proud to have helped make that happen. As Cabinet Minister, I was the first ever Children's Secretary, and we brought all the things which make a difference to the lives of children together, and that means not just great teaching in the classroom, but also getting extra help for children who need more help. And I know I did more to help children with disabilities, to get short breaks, for children with special educational needs than we've ever been able to do before. I was the first ever Children's Secretary, and with Michael Gove there, it looks like I might be the last. Look, we all know you can't win if we're just a campaigning party in the last few weeks before the general election. We need to be out there all the time, every weekend, not just campaigning, but talking, listening, and being advocates for our communities. And that means party members, trade union members out with us on the doorstep doing public meetings. I don't think we can do that, though, with credibility if we're simply from the centre, from the leadership, saying we've got the answers. We've got to be a party which listens. And I want the public, our party members, our trade union members, to tell us what needs to be done. I want to ask questions and hear from parties, from GCs, from the National Policy Forum as well. What do you think the answer is to the question? How do we get back in touch? How do we deliver for working people? How do we address those issues like housing or education finance, which we know on the doorstep came up? If we're listening and campaigning, and if you're telling us the answers on policy, then we can do better for the future. We need a Labour leader who can take the fight to the Conservatives and Liberals and expose the bankruptcy and the unfairness of what they're proposing. Can you believe it? Nick Clegg said, vote Liberal Democrat or you'll get a Tory government. They said, stop the VAT bombshell. It's one thing to sacrifice principle for power, but to do that on the backs of the poor, the unemployed, the most disadvantaged, that is unfair, it's an outrage. And we need a Labour leader who can take the campaign to the Conservatives and to the Liberals. We also need a Labour leader who can speak the language of mums and dads as well as business leaders. I was born in Norwich, grew up in Nottingham, and that's the campaigning I've done in my constituency and across the country. We also need somebody who's got the judgment and the steel to make difficult decisions, and I think I showed that on the decision not to join the single currency, in dealing with those difficult issues around Haringey and Baby Peter, where I withstood huge tabloid media pressure. Above all, we need somebody who's steeped in the values of the Labour, the trade union and the cooperative movement, and that's why I'm standing to be Labour leader.